it seems apparent. And as Black women, sometimes there is that underlying thing we're socialized to believe from very early on that we don't deserve any better.
What are y'all talking about? Why are you still complaining? And every time a person's like, oh, black people, black people, this is why people think crazy about black people. This video is brought to you by SHINERGYLife.com. SHINERGYLife.com, ladies and gentlemen, is finally here. We have the day drink and the night drink officially at the headquarters, ready to be shipped out. So everybody that pre-ordered, you're going to get yours soon. And for those who haven't ordered, you better get it now because it's going to sell out like nobody's business. So make sure you go to SHINERGYLife.com, SHINERGYLife.com, and get your supplements today. Like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get it in. All right, let's talk about Michelle Obama. So you all know that she got that terrible podcast that she decided to do without Barack Obama, which is absolutely insane in my personal opinion. But the crazy thing is to listen to Michelle Obama, who's worth like $70 million. I can go down her portfolio. Do y'all want me to go down her portfolio? Let's go down Michelle Obama's portfolio and how much she's worth and how much their real estate is worth. And she complaining. Let's go to the portfolio. Listen, she's estimated to be worth $70 million. When she shared that with, obviously, Barack Obama, because when a woman is married, that money is both of theirs, all right? Then you go down, she signed a $65 million book deal with Barack Obama in 2017. Her memoir, Becoming, was sold over 10 million copies worldwide. We can go down the list. Let's look at their real estate portfolio. $8 million home in Washington, D.C., $11 million home at Martha's Vineyard, $1 million home in Chicago. I mean, we can go down the list, bruh. She worth a ton of money. She's the first black first lady. What are y'all talking about? Why are you still complaining? And every time a person's like, oh, black people, black people, this is why people think crazy about black people. Because no matter how rich you are, no matter how successful you are, you're still complaining. Listen to her on this podcast.
We grew up with women who weren't voicing the pain and the burden. They made it look easy. Mm-hmm. And when you make stuff look easy, people assume that you must like this. Yeah. It's okay with you, right?
Right.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
And does anyone care?
Yeah, there's that.
Will they care?
If we knew, I think we would care. If we knew. Mm-hmm. If we knew.
Or, yeah, and we have to ask ourselves, the men in our lives is, why wait to be asked? Mm-hmm. It seems like what we go through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud, Mm-hmm. You see us carrying these babies. You see us working a job and coming home and managing, getting food on the table and handling doctor's appointments. And this is, if you've got a partner, mm-hmm. right? I think some of us feel like, why should we have to ask?
Yeah.
It seems apparent. And as Black women, sometimes there is that underlying thing we're socialized to believe from very early on that we don't deserve any better. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's why it's important for us mm-hmm. at tables like this, for women like us who mm-hmm. do have a platform to talk openly about the challenges that we face, not because we are complaining, which we don't want to ever be complaining, mm-hmm. But because we need to change, we need to turn that cycle on its head.
Yes.
And we have to talk about our stresses openly, mm-hmm. And also, as Black women, we are so easily labeled as angry and bitter. And let me tell you some of the most hurtful stuff that I experienced, entering this life of public service at the heights that we entered into was during my husband's presidential campaign. Mm-hmm. And just me telling the truth of who we were, just humanizing him as a man, saying he's a great man, but he's not perfect. Mm-hmm. He's got his foibles and his flaws, trying to humanize him. The first thing that some female journalist said was that I was bitter. I was emasculating him just by sort of trying to tell the truth about what life is, right? And then you get labeled as angry, because you talk forcefully or passionately about something, even if it's in the context of great joy and pride. That the first label they put on us as Black women is that we are angry. And the irony is like, I am probably less liked than many of my white female friends. I see that.
Less
light.
Not liked.
Light. L-I-G-H-T. Because I say this a lot. I mean, I see the difference in some of my white female friends. I see a lightness, an ability to be in the world and see what's going on, but still be not as burdened about it as I think I am. I think that what I see happen in the news, the assault on immigration rights, the challenges that face our community, the inequality, I think it burns at me in a different way.
Because it affects you.
Yeah.
It affects your children.
Yeah.
It affects you.
Yeah. So imagine, we wake up every day just carrying that.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't directly affect me, sometimes I just have to stop reading the paper.
Yes.
So that I can stop thinking about all that's wrong. Sometimes, I don't know about you, Taraji, I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right?
If you listen to Michelle Obama on this podcast, and you just say you were an alien, that you came from outer space, and you somehow saw this podcast, you would think that Michelle Obama and the woman that she's talking to are all poor people. The young lady she's talking to is very wealthy, successful, an actor that's been in all kind of incredible movies. In my opinion, she's one of my favorite actors. And then you got Michelle Obama, who's the first Black first lady, and just worth millions of dollars, educated. Why are they talking like this? There's not this Black women don't have a right to express themselves. Yes, they do. But the problem is when you're successful, you steady complaining instead of talking about excellence. If you look at any statistical data, they argue that Black women are the most educated per capita. Black women are the most successful, entrepreneurial. They got better jobs and opportunities that they have taken advantage of greater than even Black men. And they're talking about Black women are the most educated out of any group of women in America. So you got to pick which side you on. Are y'all getting alienated? You can't express yourself, or are y'all killing it? Which one is it, Michelle Obama? And then this is the thing, and I'll tell you guys this because I grew up in this. When you're Black, if you get a very similar perspective, or you have a very similar mindset and outlook on life, if you're Black in most Black communities, if you grew up in a Black community, what happens is highly successful Black people feel this level of guilt that they're not associated with the struggle. Some people want to be a part of the struggle so bad that they act like they're a part of the struggle by dressing a certain way, wearing gold teeth, listening to rap music, throwing up signs, and they got a freaking doctorate degree. And it's because they want to connect with the struggle in that way, so they try to act the part. But then also there's people that don't live like the struggle. They live at Martha's Vineyard, but then they want to act like that they're connected to a struggle. Black women don't have a voice. Her whole life she's had an incredible voice, and she's married to a Black man with an incredible voice. At what point are you associated, and the other lady you're talking to has an incredible voice. One day you can pop your ugly brother on there and have a podcast. That's a voice. What are you actually referring to? Which Black people are you talking about? Ma'am, you married to a man and have children. Are you the same as a single mother Black woman, or uneducated Black woman, or a Black woman that did time in prison? No, you're not. You're all not the same. So what does they do? They continue to try to connect with the Black struggle. So they go, people were criticizing me because I'm just telling that Barack Obama is human, and they call us angry. And she admitted at the end of that video, she admitted that she's angrier than all of her white friends. And she says immigration and all of these things affect her more. It just burns more against me. No, that's because you allow it to. You have really no connection with immigration. Your husband was the deporter in chief. He deported more people than Donald Trump could ever dream or fantasize of.
will this administration continue to oversee the deportation of 400,000 people a year?
As long as Congress gives us the money to deport 400,000 people a year, that's what the administration is going to do. That's our obligation under the law. We will be strategic about how we do it, and the number of those folks who are either criminals or recent arrivals will continue to go up. But yes, this is our obligation under the law. And while we have the debate about reforming the law, we must enforce it, and we will do that.
Are you saying that this administration believes that there are 400,000 serious criminals who are not in jail right now and who should be deported? 400,000 people. Where are you going to find them if you're saying that your emphasis is only on serious criminals?
As I pointed out, of the people that we remove, of the 400,000 people removed in the last year, about half of them are serious criminals under the definition in immigration law, and the vast majority of the other half are either recent arrivals, people who are in the process of crossing at the border, or people who have recently been deported, or who had previously been deported, and are re-entering. So that makes up the bulk of the 400,000 in previous years, and if the trends continue, that'll be reflected in the next 400,000 that we remove. But Congress passed a law, and Congress appropriates funds to implement that law, and the executive branch's job is to enforce it. How we do it matters a lot, but the president can't say to the Congress, I'm not going to bother to enforce this particular law because these are really compelling people. That's not how democracy works.
What exactly are you talking about? It affects me more than anybody else. Your husband was the one doing it. And then you go down and look at it, you say, okay, if it affects you more than anybody else, that's your personal choice to have a life filled with external locus of control. That means that you think that other things that are happening in your life outside of you is what's creating your life, instead of saying the things that are in you is what's creating your life. Your guilt and frustration is because you are allowing those things to frustrate you when you really have no connection to it. She already admitted that she was the problem, pretty much, and that she got it. And I'll say this and wrap it up. The truth of the matter is that Black culture and Black people and the greater society has created an environment where if you ain't Black or you're not Black enough, you're alienated. You don't understand the struggle. You can't be identified with greatness. I'm telling y'all the truth. And so what do? They do like Michelle do. You don't hear Obama on here talking like this. You just don't. So I hope that Black women see this, or women in general see this. Don't be a victim. Quit making excuses. When you're worth $70 million, how about you spend your platform uplifting Black women and talking about the Black women, female success, if that's what your objective is. See y'all on the next one. I'm out.